Picture a conqueror so revolutionary that his enemies willingly knelt before him, swapping chains for citizenship. This is not a fairy tale, but the true story of Cyrus the Great, the shepherd boy who dreamed of an empire. How did a lone leader from the rocky hills of Persia unite fractious tribes and topple mighty kingdoms? The ancient world was a brutal chessboard of warring states where mercy was a weakness and conquest meant slaughter. Today, we will unravel the genius behind his campaigns, from shocking military victories to groundbreaking laws of tolerance. You will discover how Cyrus didn't just build an empire. The ancient Near East in the 6th century before Christ was a brutal playground for ambitious kings and empires. Persian tribes lived under the shadow of their powerful overlords, the Medes, who demanded tribute and obedience. Yet deep in the rugged mountains of Persia, a boy named Cyrus was growing up with a destiny that would shake the world. According to ancient tales, his grandfather, the Median king, dreamed that this grandson would overthrow him. Therefore, the king ordered the baby Cyrus to be killed, but a compassionate shepherd raised him in secret. The irony here is absolutely breathtaking when you stop to think about it for a moment. That very child meant to die would one day unite the entire region under his personal banner. Cyrus learned the ways of the mountain tribes, understanding both hardship and the importance of loyalty from a young age. His reputation for fairness and strategic thinking began to attract followers even from rival Persian groups. The Persians were originally nomadic herders and warriors, organized into loose tribal confederations under Median supremacy. As a young man, Cyrus inherited leadership of the Persian tribe called the Pasargadae, a relatively minor group. But his vision extended far beyond the rocky hills of his homeland, dreaming of a united Persian nation. His first masterstroke was to rally the disparate Persian tribes against their common Median oppressor. The Median Empire, however, was not some crumbling edifice, but a powerful state with a formidable army. Cyrus knew that a direct frontal assault would be suicidal, so he devised a cunning plan instead. He secretly negotiated with disgruntled Median nobles who were unhappy with their king's harsh rule. This was political warfare at its finest, turning the empire's strength into its greatest weakness from within. The decisive confrontation came around the year 550 BC, though exact dates are fuzzy. According to the historian Herodotus, Cyrus faced King Astyages on the battlefield with inferior numbers. The battle reportedly involved clever use of terrain and psychological warfare to demoralize the Median troops. Yet through brilliant tactics and the loyalty of his Persian warriors, he achieved a stunning victory. Astyages was captured and the Median Empire practically collapsed overnight into Cyrus's waiting hands. But here is where Cyrus did something unprecedented for his time, something truly revolutionary. Instead of slaughtering the defeated Medes or enslaving their population, he integrated them into his realm. He even allowed Median nobles to keep their positions and treated them with respect and dignity. This policy of mercy and inclusion instantly transformed former enemies into loyal supporters and allies. With the resources of Media now behind him, Cyrus looked westward toward the incredibly wealthy kingdom of Lydia. King Croesus of Lydia was famed for his vast treasures, believing himself invincible due to an oracle's promise. Cyrus faced the formidable Lydian cavalry, which included fearsome mounted warriors with long spears. To counter them, he used camels whose strange smell spooked the Lydian horses, creating chaos on the battlefield. After a swift war, Croesus was defeated, and Lydia became another province of the growing Persian Empire. Astoundingly, Cyrus spared Croesus's life and even consulted him as an advisor in later years. This pattern of clemency was not weakness but a calculated strategy to ensure stable and peaceful rule. The greatest prize, however, was the ancient and magnificent city of Babylon, the heart of Mesopotamia. Babylon was defended by massive walls and a king named Nabonidus, who was unpopular with his own people. Cyrus saw an opportunity not just for conquest but for liberation, positioning himself as a liberator. In the year 539 BC, his army marched toward Babylon, but not for a direct siege. According to some accounts, he diverted the Euphrates River, allowing his troops to enter through the riverbed. Whether true or not, the city fell almost without a fight, as many Babylonians welcomed Cyrus as a savior. Here, Cyrus made his most enduring declaration, recorded on a clay cylinder now known as the Cyrus Cylinder. In it, he proclaimed freedom for all captured peoples and allowed them to return to their homelands. He permitted the Jews, exiled in Babylon for decades, to go back to Jerusalem and rebuild their temple. This act of religious tolerance was unheard of in an age where victors typically imposed their own gods. This decision earned him the title of Messiah in the Hebrew Bible, a rare honor for a non-Jewish ruler. Cyrus presented himself not as a foreign conqueror, but as a legitimate king chosen by the Babylonian god Marduk. Archaeologists discovered this cylinder in 1879, and it stunned the historical community. Imagine finding a 2,500-year-old document advocating for the rights of conquered peoples. His empire now stretched from the Indus River to the Aegean Sea, an unprecedented territorial expanse. How did Cyrus manage to govern such a vast and diverse collection of cultures and languages effectively? He implemented a system of satrapies, appointing local governors to administer regions with considerable autonomy. This decentralized approach prevented rebellion by respecting local customs and reducing direct oppression. Royal inspectors known as the King's Eyes traveled the empire to ensure fairness and loyalty, of course. Under Cyrus, roads were built, trade flourished, and a common Aramaic language facilitated communication. He established a royal road system with relay stations for messengers, enhancing communication speed across vast distances. Taxation was standardized but not overly burdensome, fostering economic growth rather than resentment among the provinces. People across the empire experienced a period of relative peace and prosperity known as the Pax Persica. Cyrus's life eventually ended on a distant battlefield in Central Asia, expanding his empire even further. The circumstances of his death are shrouded in mystery, with various accounts claiming he fell in battle. His tomb still stands in Pasargadae, a simple but powerful monument to the man who changed history. Yet his death did not diminish his legacy, as the Achaemenid Empire he founded lasted for 2 centuries. Later, Persian kings like Darius the Great built upon Cyrus's foundations to expand the empire further. Even Alexander the Great, who conquered Persia, visited Cyrus's tomb and paid his respects. His model of tolerant, inclusive rule influenced later empires, including the Romans and even modern states. Cyrus's approach to empire was so effective that it became a blueprint for future multicultural states. Today, the Cyrus Cylinder is celebrated as an early charter of human rights and multicultural coexistence. Cyrus the Great presents a stunning paradox. Forging legacy through mercy rather than just the sword, he understood that genuine power springs from people's loyalty, not from their fear or brutal subjugation. That radical idea became a blueprint for governing countless different cultures for centuries. In essence, he conducted the ancient world's first grand experiment in multicultural tolerance. The principles on his Cyrus Cylinder still influence modern conversations about human rights. His story teaches a timeless lesson about building enduring legacies on respect. So, did this journey into the rise of the Persian Empire change your perspective on ancient history? Let me know your thoughts and reactions in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this, hitting that like button really helps spread these stories. This leaves one powerful question. Is a leader's greatness measured by conquered land or by their humanity after the fight?